In today's video, I'm going to be looking at ticker symbol SNAP, also known as Snap, who have just landed a huge $400 million deal and also had a significant earnings beat, and is one of the stocks that is doing well today in a difficult red market. And for MMTLP, we're going to be looking at some new action to restart trading, so stay tuned for details of that. And before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So from Yahoo Finance, we can see in terms of the stock market, the Dow Jones, S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are sinking as valuation concerns are mounting amid the bleak jobs data. And from Market Watch, we can see Dow Jones was down 450 points, S&P 500 and Nasdaq were down over 1%, and obviously Tesla is also down quite significantly, and many of the quantum stocks also down, so potentially a good day to buy. If we have a look at the heat map here, it's almost a clean sweep of red, and technology, consumer cyclical, and also communication services being badly hit. And let's have a look at one stock which has just had a very strong beat in earnings, but then went down over 20%, and that is ticker symbol DUOL, also known as Duolingo. And we can see here it was trading over the $500 mark not too long ago, and now trading at $203.50, and I believe it may have just gone below the $200 mark. So not great news there for Duolingo after a significant earnings beat. So stock news shared in the Discord. We had some important insider buys for ticker symbol SNVCT, also known as New Vectus Pharma, so keep an eye out on that. 4 important insider buys. We also shared some insider buys for RLMD, Relmada Therapeutics, and in terms of STGW, important stock news there. This stock went up over 31% on a potential deal with Palantir, so keep an eye out on that one. And finally, I would like to give a quick review of the previous week's weekly watch list, where we had some great calls, and including LMND up over 15.3%, ASST up over 20% on the week, Amazon a good call on earnings up over 9%, COMM up over 9.45%, and many more. So if you would like to get the next weekly watch list as well as a copy of our daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share more details about the Trading Secrets Discord, and once you join, you'll get access to our daily stock alerts, the weekly watch list shared prior to trading on the Monday, also the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. And for some of the members, I also share my buy and sell alerts live. These include swing trades, and they also include long-term holds. In terms of the weekly watch list, these are our calls that are also recorded weekly with some tremendous returns, including LAES up over 152%, RUM up over 51%, and many more, but obviously not all calls are successful. We've had a $2,000 Discord update, and this includes live breaking news. It also includes why a stock is moving, analyst rating, FDA news, halt stack pools, and much more to help in your trading decisions. We have a new top ranked stocks DD channel with well over 30 stocks now for number 1 rated buy stocks. And finally, you can also join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we use compound return investing, looking at 201 trades with a return of 3.5%. Let's have a look at an important update for ticker symbol SNAP, also known as Snapchat, and shared live in our trading channel in the Discord. We shared news of a $400 million partnership with Perplexity AI, and this was also a stock on our daily stock alerts, including some others, including MRVL, where there was also good news. So in terms of a company profile, this is a technology company operating in North America, Europe, and also worldwide, and they offer a visual messaging application with various tabs such as camera, visual messaging, snaps, stories, and much more. And we can see here on the left hand side recent news, the deal with the $400 million Perplexity deal, which is a first step in building out their AI platform. We can also see a headline from Investopedia here, conversational AI is coming to Snapchat, and obviously the stock is surging, so great news there for Snapchat. And the headline here from Business Insider, we can see the stock at the time of the news surged over 18%, 4%. However, prior to that, the stock has been struggling. So let's have a look at the details of this new $400 million partnership, and the integration will allow Snapchat users to receive AI-powered answers to questions without leaving the app, and this could potentially increase user engagement and also session times, and obviously that will also drive up advertising. So obviously enhance the company's position against the competitors, including TikTok. So let's now have a look at the earnings. So the company also delivered very impressive earnings and exceeded Wall Street expectations, and the stock was up significantly after that. So they reported revenue growth of 10% to $1.5 billion, beating the analyst estimate of $1.49 billion. So great news there. In terms of the strong advertising performance, that is being delivered by results. Daily active users on Snapchat grew 8% to 477 million users globally, adding 34 million users compared to the previous period. And profitability metrics are also showing improvement, with the net losses narrowing. So again, hopefully profit will be achieved very, very soon in the upcoming quarters. And the response here from BMO Capital, they have maintained an outperform on Snapchat and increased their price target to $13. So a good upside potential there. And let's now finish off by having a look at some challenges and risks. So first of all, obviously we have regulatory challenges which create potentially uncertainty. There is news in Australia with regard to the the social media minimum age bill, which is going to impact people using Snapchat and other social media applications under the age of 16. There's also looking at forward-looking guidance and market outlook. We know revenue is growing up significantly, and we know obviously they're not yet profitable, but I think the potential, especially with this partnership, is very, very promising. So keep an eye out on ticker symbol SNAP. Before we look at the latest updates for MMTLP, shout out here to KKEP, who's posted with regard to major developments involving Andrew Left and Anson Funds Management LP. So what we can see here in terms of these updates, Anson have filed a motion to quash the subpoena in the Metamaterials bankruptcy case, signalling a hard pushback. And meanwhile, Andrew Left is suing Anson and its leadership in a new federal defamation and business disparagement suit, alleging that there was a misleading in the Securities and Exchange Commission about payments to him tied to short selling strategies. So it looks like there is a conflict between them, and in terms of context, the SEC previously charged Andrew Left and his firm Citron Capital in July 2024 with regard to a $20 million bait and switch scheme involving misleading public recommendations and hidden trades, and I wonder how many companies did suffer as a result of that. So next shout out here is to Kristen Shaughnessy, who's posted with regard to FINRA and saying, is it trying to quash or limit subpoenas filed in the MMAT bankruptcy case? Why don't FINRA executives and members want to explain under oath why obviously 65,000 people have had their investments frozen for nearly 3 years? And we have a person here, an investor by the name of Jeffrey Stephen Pittman, who's invested more than $50,000 in MMTLP. His money, along with many, many others, has been frozen in time. Obviously, this was something that was not meant to trade, and we can see here in the United States District Court, the District of Nevada, and in terms of an exhibit, he has proof here of purchasing the MMTLP shares, including prices of $8.88, $9.54, $9.29, $7, and obviously these were carried out in December. So reaction here from Danny, who stated, let me get this straight. To protect MMTLP investors, you allowed them to buy thousands of shares on the 6th, 7th and 8th, so you could U3 halt on the 9th. I think the implication here is that they knew there was going to be a halt, and obviously if they knew that, then obviously investors were buying into this, but investors were certainly not aware. And the final post I'd like to share with you is from Scott, who's posted here. Here we go, folks. In terms of the Begley's, he's just filed a notice of appeal with the United States District Court to take look at the restart of trading in MMTLP via the court, which is the second circuit in New York, and tomorrow is the filing of his FINRA arbitration against Schwab. And I think most people will expect the restart of 2 days of trading to be extremely unlikely and unrealistic, but obviously he's certainly not giving up and he's still fighting, and he's obviously calling out the U3 trade halt, which obviously is, he's stating here, was illegal. And again, in terms of the SEC, an oversight of FINRA was lacking, and the SEC did not follow on the case law relating to restarting MMTLP. So that's what he is fighting for. So let's see how this plays out. And obviously so far we have not had a significant breakthrough. And finally, if you would like to join us in the Discord, get a copy of our daily stock alerts as well as the weekly watch list. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.